I want a faith like Paul. I want to sing like Silas, tearing down the prison wall. I want to face that fight.
Hey, what's up? Brad Woessner. Hey, I had posted a video, I don't know, in the past, and it was about one of my giving heroes. It was a guy while I was on the streets, Greg Porter, who sent my brother some money and to help me get me off the streets. And then I moved to Oklahoma City. He was there to help me out. And I had a couple people respond, how did you end up on the streets? And I'll tell you, you hear that all the time. You're just a couple bad decisions away from, ending up in a bad situation. And I'll tell you what it was. So I had a pretty good childhood. I drank too much, but I was, doing well, good job, bought a house when I was 20 years old. But I got an outside sales job when I was probably 23 years old. My boss was in Oklahoma City. I was making very good money for the age that I was. And what happened was let's just be real. I got in, started hanging out with the wrong people, going to the wrong playgrounds, doing things I shouldn't have been doing. And that's it in a nutshell. I had a very good job, making very good money, very little supervision, was doing well at my job. And what happened was, slipping at my job, and my job wanted me to be, accountable, found out I was doing things I shouldn't have been doing, asked me to do rehab for 30 days. And I wouldn't do the rehab. And because the reason why was not because I didn't think I needed it. I wouldn't do it because I didn't want to have to tell my mom or tell somebody else that I had a problem. So instead, I allowed them to fire me, and did not have the skills to cope with that. I just shut down, gave up. And what ended up happening was, a year later, sheriff sets me out of my house I bought. And that was the path down the road to homelessness. But I'm going to tell you, and I say this all the time, I wouldn't change a thing about the time I was homeless. Yes, it was stressful. The only two things I wasted a lot of time, and my mom didn't know where I was. But there were skills when you're in a shitty situation. There are skills that you learn that you will never learn anywhere else. And so while I was in the lowest of lowest places, as I look back on those things, there were things that I learned. So anyway, that's how I ended up homeless. It wasn't like, it was a big act in the fact that, but you slowly slip into a situation where you are faced with certain situations. If you make bad decisions, there's a bad outcome. If you hang out with the wrong people, there's going to be repercussion for that. So what ended up happening was I was doing a lot of things wrong, and it all ran into me at the same time. But the same thing, I only share this because wherever you're at is not finite. You're not going to, you don't have to stay there. You won't be there for the rest of your life if you don't want to be. There are things, and people go, "Well, man, what do I do different?" Everything. Whatever you did to get you in this situation, change everything about it and get your way out of it. And like I said, it's not a joyful thing to share this with people, but the only reason I do is I want to be encouragement. I want to be a light for people, and it doesn't have to be homelessness. It could be you're going through a divorce. It could be a death in the family. It could be, you did lose your job. Whatever the situation is, I want people to know that there's a chapter after that. As long as you're here, you have a purpose. Thanks, guys.